I've got this Nissan Juke here that I've been working on. It hasn't ran for a while, and we noticed that some water was getting inside of the vehicle while it was sitting. I've spent most of my morning trying to figure out where the sunroof drains are so that I can clear them, and maybe this will stop some of the leaking. And I had a hard time finding a good reliable video that showed where these are, so I just want to quickly run through with you where each one of these drains are located and maybe the easiest way that you can get to them. So we're just going to start here in the back because these are going to be the easiest ones for you to deal with. And you want to first remove this piece of trim here. They're just held on by these clips. And then next, you're going to want to just get a hold of this piece of plastic and pull it outwards towards you. It's held on by some of these white clips. Once you get this panel pulled back out of the way, you can see down in there, that tube right there, that's your sunroof drain. Now, this pulls right out. It's not attached to anything. And once you have it pulled out, you can pull it out to about here. And you can use something to stick up in there and clear it out. Or you could do what I did and put an air compressor adapter on here and blow some air up into there. I tried using some weed whacker string in order to clear these drains, but it didn't really work very well. It wasn't very strong. What I found to work the best for me was just some speaker wire, and you strip the ends off. Preferably leave it together like this one is. And then you should be able to just stick it up in there. Once I was able to get the speaker wire up as far as it would go, I took some water and poured it in there, and then used my air compressor adapter to blow air through, and the water came back out. It's pretty dirty, and you can see some of it's still down there in the bottom of the vehicle. Now, the same thing on this side. You might have to move your spare tire out of the way to get the plastic enough room to clear. But just pull your plastic out. It's got that wire right there. You might have to disconnect it. And then down in there is your rear passenger sunroof drain. And same thing with this one. You just pull it out, stick a wire up in there, blow it out. These actually drain right behind the bumper here, I believe, and there's no way to get to them up in the wheel well. And so I spent a lot of my morning searching for these, and finally just pulled the plastic and found them. A lot of what I could find online said that the front drains went down the A-pillar, and then they would come out behind this wheel well. And actually, I pulled the wheel well out, cleaned everything up, and could not find the drain, so I found this wasn't true. Where I did find it was under the cowl here. This piece of rubber is held on by these little tabs here, and right there in that hole, right here, you're going to find this little guy. And this sits in there just like this. We can see there's a bunch of crap in there, and then the hose hooks up on the back side. And you can see all the crap that's down inside that little piece. So I'm going to clean this out, and we'll put it back on. Now you can see the drain hose down in there. It's hard to clean out from the outside. And so what I was able to do was go into the car. I removed the glove box. And as you can see, there's this computer that's attached by 2 screws right there. And so I removed the computer just so I can get some access. You can see up in there that there's a bunch gray sound deadening. And I pulled this out of the way the best I could, way up in there. Behind the sound deadening, towards the top of the dashboard, is that drain. And if you mess with it enough, you can pull it back and shove your wire up in there. I was actually able to get my air compressor adapter up in there to blow it out. And this little piece that I showed you actually comes out of the firewall into the cabin, so you have to be inside the car to be able to remove this. It just is held in by these two little clips. You push those on the engine compartment side and it pushes inwards, and then the hose just pops right off the end of that. So I'm back on the driver's side now, behind this little rubber cover, just like the other side. You're going to be able to see the other drain down in there. Same thing, I got the other one out, and you'll just have to pop it out and push it inwards. And the driver's side footwell, this is going to be probably one of the hardest ones for you to find. And it's going to be the hardest one for me to put the camera on too. But way up in the corner, it's really hard to see. There's going to be some sound deadening almost towards the top of the dash, it feels like. But you'll be able to pull that out of the way up there. And you should be able to see it right now. There's the sunroof drain. So if you pull that sound deadening right there back, you should be able to reach your hand up in there and pull the drain off of the adapter that's going through the firewall. And you should be able to pull the adapter through too if you push those ears in. It's almost impossible for me to show you this, but you can also get your wire up in there by feel and push it through as well. This one I was not able to get the air compressor adapter into to blow out. That hose runs down the A-pillar and then comes out of the cowl right there, almost at the very top of the dashboard. That's why it's going to be so hard for me to show you this, and I was lucky to even be able to find the hose on the camera. However, if you sit down here in the corner and just reach your arm up and around the dash, you should be able to get to it. You could also pull this back and get you a good pair of needle nose pliers and pull the hose out. It'll come out about 1/4 of an inch through the firewall, and you should be able to shove your wires through. I was able to do that on the passenger side. However, on the driver's side, I found it easier to do from inside. Here's an up close of the adapter that is used for the sunroof drains in the front. And again, it's just got these two ears that you'll push through from the engine compartment side, and the hose just press fits onto this barb here. Removal is the same thing as installation. You just want to make sure that you get all that gunk out of there and clean everything up before you put it back together. So I hope that you were able to get your sunroof drains located and be able to clean them out. The reason I had to go through from the exit side of the drain is because our sunroof won't open. But hopefully this helps you. Thanks.